Tehran wakes to an electric morning. Something historic is about to arrive. A powerful roar grows, not from traffic, but from a train painted with the flags of China and Iran. This is the first direct freight train from Yiwu, China, after a journey of thousands of miles. Cameras flash, dignitaries gather, and the crowd holds its breath. The China-Iran rail corridor is officially open, a modern Silk Road set to reshape global trade. The train's whistle signals a new chapter, echoing across continents. For decades, sea routes dominated by established powers controlled global trade. Today, that changes. This train is a bold statement. New paths are being forged, connecting nations seeking independence from traditional systems. The containers carry not just goods but the ambitions of a rising superpower and a resilient nation. This is the Belt and Road Initiative in motion. Iranian officials call it a lifeline, a way to boost their economy and break free from sanctions. Chinese representatives speak of shared prosperity and a revival of the ancient Silk Road. Beneath the diplomacy, the strategy is clear. China gains a secure land route to the Middle East, vital for energy and markets. As the train glides into the station, the implications are profound. This isn't just about faster shipping, it's about redrawing the economic map of Eurasia. Landlocked Central Asian countries now have a direct link to the sea. New trade hubs will emerge far from traditional ports. The journey of this train previews a future where land-based routes rival the sea lanes of old. The world is watching as the 21st century story is written along these new iron tracks. The celebration in Tehran is more than ceremony, it's a signal of shifting power. The Silk Road is reborn, and the stakes are global. The China-Iran rail corridor is a feat of engineering and diplomacy. It's not a single line, but a network spanning thousands of miles. The journey starts in Yiwu, China, then crosses Kazakhstan and Turkmenistan. Once remote, now vital links. New tracks, tunnels, and bridges create a seamless path. The Iron Silk Road, a flagship of China's Belt and Road Initiative. The BRI aims to connect China to the world through roads, railways, and ports. The China-Iran link physically connects China's industry to the Middle East's energy. The route crosses harsh climates and required complex international agreements. For Central Asia, this is transformative. Landlocked nations become transit hubs, earning revenue and attracting investment. The corridor ends in Tehran, but the vision extends to the Persian Gulf and even Europe. Iran becomes a gateway, not just a destination. This railway is a strategic spine, integrating economies across Eurasia. Its completion signals a new era of land-based connectivity. The China-Iran rail corridor's biggest advantage: speed. The sea route from China to Iran takes up to 45 days, winding through congested and risky waters. The new rail link slashes that to just 14 days, potentially even 10. For businesses, this means faster delivery, lower costs, and less capital tied up in transit. Rail is more predictable than sea shipping, avoiding delays from storms or blockages. Security is another plus. The rail bypasses volatile chokepoints like the Strait of Malacca and Hormuz. China diversifies its trade routes, reducing dependence on sea lanes vulnerable to disruption. For Iran, the railway offers a stable trade corridor, less exposed to naval blockades. In a world of uncertainty, this land route is a strategic insurance policy. The Iron Silk Road is changing how goods and power move across continents. The China-Iran rail corridor cements a deepening partnership. For China, Iran is a vast market and a key energy supplier. The railway makes trade easier, cheaper, and more secure, especially for oil and gas. Politically, it gives China a foothold in the Middle East, countering US influence. For Iran, isolated by sanctions, the rail link is an economic lifeline. It allows Iran to export resources and import goods without relying on Western channels. The partnership boosts Iran's regional standing, making it a central hub in the Belt and Road Initiative. Iran gains diplomatic cover and reduces its isolation. The rail link is both a symbol of survival and a tool for growth. Together, China and Iran are forging new paths, economically and geopolitically. The China-Iran rail corridor is a geopolitical game-changer. It challenges a world order long dominated by Western powers and maritime trade. The US sees its efforts to isolate Iran and contain China undermined in one move. Europe faces a dilemma: embrace new trade opportunities or risk political fallout with the US. The deepening China-Iran partnership complicates global alliances, creating new blocs and rivalries. India, developing its own route through Iran, now faces direct competition from China's faster, better-funded project. Russia, dominant in Central Asia, must balance cooperation with China against fears of being sidelined. Middle Eastern powers like Saudi Arabia watch warily, concerned about Iran's rising influence but reliant on Chinese trade. The region's diplomatic dance grows more complex as economic interests and security concerns collide. Every country is reassessing its alliances in this new landscape. The rail corridor is more than infrastructure. It's a catalyst for shifting power. The world's balance is in flux, and the Iron Silk Road is at the center. The stakes have never been higher. To grasp the rail corridor's impact, look to history. The Suez Canal revolutionized trade in 1869, creating a shortcut between Europe and Asia. The China-Iran Railway is being called a land-based Suez Canal for the 21st century. Like the canal, it bypasses perilous sea routes and creates a new artery for global commerce. It promises to redraw trade maps and shift economic power, just as the Suez once did. The political parallels are striking. Control of the canal meant leverage. Control of the rail corridor means influence across Eurasia. Unlike the single choke point of Suez, the Iron Silk Road is a network, more resilient, less vulnerable. Landlocked nations now gain strategic value, turning disadvantage into opportunity. Maritime trade won't disappear, but the rise of land routes marks a new era of global logistics. The world is moving toward a multimodal system, land and sea, competing and cooperating. The Iron Silk Road is the new frontier. The China-Iran rail corridor unlocks vast opportunities for growth. Faster, cheaper trade means businesses can reach new markets and reduce costs. The railway's construction and operation create jobs and stimulate local economies. New logistics hubs and industrial parks will spring up along the route. Landlocked Central Asian nations become vital transit territories, attracting investment and development. Inland cities like Urumqi, Almaty, and Tehran are poised to become major commercial hubs. This could balance economic growth, reducing the dominance of coastal megacities. The corridor also fosters regional cooperation. Countries must harmonize customs and security, building trust. Economic interdependence encourages peace and stability. The shared benefits of the corridor can transcend old rivalries. The Iron Silk Road is a force for prosperity and connection. The corridor's promise comes with real risks. It could deepen global divisions as the West and China-led blocs compete for influence. Traditional maritime trade routes may suffer, impacting ports and jobs in coastal regions. Security is a major concern. The railway crosses unstable areas, vulnerable to sabotage or conflict. Protecting thousands of miles of track requires unprecedented cooperation. Any major disruption could undermine confidence in the route. There's also the risk of economic overdependence on China. Smaller countries may face debt and political leverage from Beijing. Critics warn of debt-trap diplomacy, where China gains control over strategic assets. Participating nations must balance opportunity with sovereignty. The Iron Silk Road's success depends on careful navigation of these challenges. The China-Iran rail link signals a new era of global connectivity. It's a cornerstone of the Belt and Road Initiative, shifting how we think about trade and power. A land-based network is emerging to rival the seas. This is just the beginning. Future links could connect China, Iran, Russia, Turkey, and Europe. The corridor's impact will be measured in alliances forged and old ones tested. Will it bring prosperity and integration, or deepen global divisions? Every nation must adapt to a world where commerce and influence are being redrawn. The Iron Silk Road is no longer a dream, it's reality. Each train carries not just goods, but the seeds of a new global order. The world is watching as the tracks laid today pave the road to the future. The story of globalization is being rewritten, one journey at a time.